Namaskar and welcome to the second part of the Fundamental Analysis lecture series. In the first part, we talked about the basics of fundamental analysis. We also explained why management analysis has become so important nowadays. So, in the second part, we will talk about management analysis in detail with the help of case studies. Today, we will understand how to analyze the management of a company with case studies. Let us start with Yes Bank. When I was analyzing Yes Bank, I started with the management analysis. When I started reading about the co-founder and former CEO of Yes Bank, Rana Kapoor, who is regarded as the main person of Yes Bank, and started analyzing his ethics and work habits, certain shocking facts revealed themselves. While analyzing any company, we always check how much stake the promoter owns in that company. We also check how much of their stake the promoters of that company have pledged. Promoters can take loans from banks against their stake in the company. The shares which are kept as collateral with the bank are called pledged shares. If the promoter of a company pledges a large amount of shares, then that is not a good signal. You can see in the shareholding of Yes Bank that Rana Kapoor, Yes Capital Private Limited, Morgan Credits Private Limited, Madhu Kapoor and Mags Finvest Private Limited are all promoters of Yes Bank. In the pledged shares category, it is clear that only Madhu Kapoor has pledged her shares. Madhu Kapoor is the wife of Yes Bank co-founder Ashok Kapoor, and at the second quarter of the financial year 2019, she had 17 crores 52 lakhs and 75,000 shares. Out of this, she had pledged 9.51%, that is 1 crore 66 lakhs and 75,000 shares. The remaining promoters of Yes Bank had not pledged even one share, which is a very good thing. But this is not the reality. The reality is very different. Yes Capital Private Limited and Morgan Credits Private Limited are both investment companies owned by Rana Kapoor's families. Rana Kapoor's three daughters, Rakhi Kapoor Tandon, Radha Kapoor and Roshni Kapoor, are the owners of these two companies, that is Yes Capital Private Limited and Morgan Credits Private Limited. Yes Capital Private Limited and Morgan Credits Private Limited don't have any business operations of their own. These two are just investment companies. Their assets are the shares of Yes Bank. As you can see here, Yes Capital has a 3.27% stake in Yes Bank and Morgan Credits has a 3.04% stake. Out of this, they have not pledged even a single share. Morgan Credits has raised Rs 1,160 crores through the issue of non-convertible debentures. Yes Capital has also raised funds in the same way, through the issue of debentures. All the debentures of Morgan Credits have been bought by Reliance Mutual Fund. Similarly, the debentures of Yes Capital have been bought by Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund. The only asset that is owned by Morgan Credits and Yes Capital are the shares of Yes Bank, and their source of income is the dividend declared by Yes Bank. This is why they faced certain limitations while raising funds through debentures. Generally, they can raise about 40 to 50% of the total value of the shares. For example, if an investment company owns shares worth Rs 100 crores, then they will only be able to raise Rs 40 to 50 crores through the issue of debentures. Here, the debentures that have been issued by Morgan Credits and Yes Capital are on the basis of the Yes Bank shares. So, indirectly, Morgan Credits and Yes Capital have pledged their shares. But according to SEBI's definition of pledged shares, there is no mention of the debentures issued on the basis of shares. Rana Kapoor took advantage of this fact. According to SEBI regulations, the promoters of all companies have to declare their pledged shares. This is so that investors gain a clear idea of the promoter's shareholding. But some promoters use the loophole in SEBI's definition, and in order to not show the pledged shares, they raise money through debentures in this way and don't directly take loans from banks against the shares. Such cases reveal the promoter's ethics and intentions. This is the first part. Now, let us look at the other part. Yes Bank's Ashok Kapoor was the country head of ABN AMRO Bank and Rana Kapoor was the head of corporate finance of ANZ Grindlays Bank. The two of them started Yes Bank together. During the 26/11 terrorist attacks in Mumbai, Ashok Kapoor was at the Trident Oberoi Hotel in Mumbai. He died in that terrorist attack. When Ashok Kapoor died, he had about 12% stake in Yes Bank. After his death, his shares were transferred to his wife Madhu Kapoor. Later, Rana Kapoor stopped involving Madhu Kapoor and her daughter in the activities of the company. He nominated 3 directors without the permission of Madhu Kapoor. Madhu Kapoor went to the High Court to protest against this and she won the case. Bombay High Court said that Madhu Kapoor was the legal heir of Ashok Kapoor. And this is why, along with Rana Kapoor, she too had the joint right to nominate directors. Along with that, the appointment of the 3 directors Rajat Monga, Sanjay Palve and Proloy Mondol was declared invalid by the court. In the meantime, Rana Kapoor had published the history of Yes Bank and in that, he had not even mentioned Ashok Kapoor anywhere. So, These kinds of things also help us understand the ethics and intentions of promoters. Now, let us look at the next and the last part of Yes Bank. For the last few years, RBI has kept a close watch on the NPA of banks. While checking Yes Bank's NPA, RBI found out that for one quarter in 2017, the actual NPA was 4 times the amount that Yes Bank had reported. This means Yes Bank had clearly manipulated the NPA numbers. Along with that, RBI also realized that there were clear shortcomings in Yes Bank's corporate governance and that their compliance culture was also very bad. Then RBI told Yes Bank that Rana Kapoor's reign as MD and CEO would be brought to an end on January 31, 2019. Yes Bank's board requested that Rana Kapoor's term be extended till August 31, 2021. But RBI rejected that request. Without any doubt, Rana Kapoor had managed Yes Bank quite well. But when it comes to the honesty and ethics of the management, then it cannot be ignored. This is because those who are not honest and don't follow ethics generally don't put the interests of the shareholders first. Benjamin Franklin was right when he said, "Honesty is the best policy." Now, let us look at the next example. The next example is of DHFL, that is of the management team of Dewan Housing Finance Corporation Limited. SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, found out that there was a loan agreement between a company owned by the promoters of DHFL and ICICI Bank Canada. In this, the company owned by the promoters of DHFL, that is Wadhwan International Investment, took a loan from ICICI Bank Canada in 2008. The promoters of DHFL, that is Kapil Wadhwan and Dheeraj Wadhwan, were then also the promoters of another company, HDIL. When Wadhwan International Investment took a loan from ICICI Bank Canada, then Kapil Wadhwan, Dheeraj Wadhwan and a few other entities used their shares in HDIL as a form of security against the loan. This means they took the loan against the HDIL shares. They used the shares as a form of security but did not inform NSE and BSE about it. According to the listing agreements of stock exchanges, all these things have to be disclosed to the stock exchange. But HDIL and its promoters did not do this. This was the case in 2008, and these things reveal a lot about promoters. Cobra Post, a non-profit media company, revealed the fraud of Rs 31,000 crores carried out by the promoters of DHFL. After that, ROC, that is the Registrar of Companies, started an inquiry on DHFL. Now, let us see what is revealed. If anyone had done management analysis of DHFL and found out about this case from 2008, then they would have preferred to stay away from DHFL. As a result of the liquidity crisis and the charges of fraud faced by DHFL, their stock price fell from Rs 650 to Rs 110 to 120. Now, let us talk about the next case. This is about Leel Electricals. The Leel Electricals case is a strange one. In 2017, Leel sold their consumer business Lloyd Electrics to Havells for Rs 1,600 crores. When Leel sold the business, their market capitalization was Rs 1,000 crores. During that time, Leel had fixed assets worth Rs 400 crores, decent amount of reserves and surplus and negligible debt. So, the cash and the assets that Leel had was valued much higher than its market capitalization. So, many investors thought that Leel is a stock in the asset play category. This is because its fixed assets and cash was larger than its market capitalization. Investors thought that when people would find out about the assets, the market capitalization of the company would rise. Leel's financial statements revealed good financial health of the company. But what happened after that was very strange. Investors did not find out what happened to the money that had come from the sale of Lloyd Electrics. Then, suspicion started being cast on the promoters on the fact that they had taken the money from the sale of Lloyd Electrics for themselves. The promoters of the company had diverted a lot of funds towards their other companies. When investors found about all this, they felt it would be better to exit from Leel Electrics. Let me tell you, in the last year, Leel's stock price fell from Rs 250 and reached a low of Rs 25 in February 2019. All these examples tell us that you cannot only be dependent on the financial statements of a company. Management analysis has now become a very important part of investing. These are just a few examples, but the market now has a lot of similar issues. In spite of having strong financials, the dishonest and unethical behavior of the management teams of companies can lead to huge losses for investors. The famous investor Vijay Kedia says, investing in an honest management is the only way to be successful in the stock market. We hope that you have learned a lot about management analysis from these case studies. In the next part of the Fundamental Analysis series, we will see how management analysis can be done. Let us know what you thought of this lecture series and this video by emailing us at finnovations555@gmail.com. Thank you for watching the video.